Morning guys, how's it going? Today is going to be a very good day. In fact, this week is going to be a very, very good week. I'm heading down to Kent to meet up with Pete from Petrolheadtours, and we're off on one of his Alpine adventures. I'm in my BMW M135 that has recently been tuned by Motec Performance, so I can't wait to get this car out on some of the best Alpine passes on this planet.
For those of you who we haven't met before, which is a few of you actually.
Yeah.
I'm Pete. That's Dan. In this nice book that hopefully you've all had a chance to look at already, you'll see our phone numbers are everywhere. So if at any point you get into trouble, our phone numbers are literally on just about every page. First of all, when you open the front cover, you will see the entirety of the route we're doing over the next few days, except for you, Joe, over there. But we'll skip over that. It's alright.
Right, we've made it to the Euro tunnel. There's a massive variety of cars on the trip, which is really cool. Literally everything ranging from my M135 to a classic Alfa Romeo, I think it's a Giulia, up to a 430 Scard, R8 V10 Plus. Everyone's looking at me and laughing now, over there. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. Oh, Z3M Coupe. Is that one of ours, Pete? Oh, okay. It's a John Marcar special. That's pretty unusual. Right guys, we're about to board the Eurotunnel. Always try and book high-sided vehicle if you've got a supercar or something with a sort of low front splitter. It just gives you an easier chance of getting on without scraping it, and also the actual track itself in the carriage is wider, so you're not going to curb a wheel. We're about to get on the train. Should be a good adventure. I've got everything set up in the car here. I've got my the nav or Garmin nav there, which Pete gave me, which has got the preset route of every day in it, which is really good to have. Obviously I've got the car's nav, and I'll be running Waze when my phone is here, so that I can keep an eye on, you know, speed zones, things like that. It should be a really good trip. I can't wait to sort of get today underway. I've got stuff everywhere. I've got my douche bag here with all my camera equipment in it. Got all my luggage down there. In the boot I've got my Brompton, I've got a spare wheel, got a pillow. I always carry a pillow because I don't sleep very well, so I like to have my own pillow. I've got various GoPros set up, sort of ready. In fact, I'm gonna fire this one on now, ready to capture anything as we go along on the journey. But here we go, about to board the Eurotunnel. We have arrived into Calais, straight into a traffic jam. But that shouldn't last long because we're straight onto the good old French toll roads, which are pricey, but if you've got one of these tags, it's easy when you get to the toll, that just bleeps through and you get the bill at the end of the month. And also, the toll roads are so smooth and usually, cross fingers, touch wood, they're pretty clear. So fingers crossed we have a nice easy route down to wherever we're going. uses a pair of M235s as his tour cars. So one sits at the front, one sits at the back. So that is Pete, just over to my right now. And he's an absolute legend behind the wheel. He really is. He's one of the most talented people I've ever seen sort of pilot a car. And that 235 will be setting the pace. Trust me, like, there's not many cars on this trip, or many cars out there that would hassle or hustle Pete on a Alpine pass. I've seen him on the fuel faction, and he's quite talented. And not only is he really good and fast at driving, but he is able to sort of stay on the radio and keep people informed of any dangers or whatever else coming, you know, coming up, animals on the road, broken down car, that sort of thing. So yeah, the guy can pedal, and that's kind of half the reason I had to do a few upgrades to my car. A lot of people that follow me on my channel that are from baby BMW will know Pete as very sideways, and he also likes to go very sideways. Hey guys, how's it going? So we've reached our overnight stay in the Vosges Mountains. I think I'm pronouncing that right. We're about an hour away from Germany as the crow flies. We've got a lineup of most of the cars that are on the tour here, so I thought we'd run through them quickly because today's been mostly motorway driving to get down to the Alps. There hasn't been that much exciting driving, but let's just go through everything. So we've got my M135 over here that's Motec tuned. Remus kit, bring it to about 365 horsepower. It's been lowered on IBAC springs, it's been spaced out on TPI spacers, got EBC brake pads, and it's been fantastic today. I still haven't driven it properly, so I can't really report back to how it's handling, but it just feels like the whole thing is just a bit more planted, so that's great. Next to me we've got a McLaren 12C, which is in, I think it's lava orange, but there's been a bit of a joke on the tour that people are calling it gold, I think because in the past tours someone called it gold, so it's the gold McLaren. We've got a 360 Challenge Stradale here, which is lovely. I've been following that the last part of the journey. We've got a nice collection of Ferraris here actually, so that's one of the special ones. Then we've got, so Pete has two M235i tour cars, 2016, so they must have been one of the last 235s before they went to 240s. They've got the ZF8 speed auto, otherwise pretty standard spec. I think they've done about 30,000 miles, and I think they're on the 5th set of tyres, so that gives you an idea how hard he drives. Next to that we've got a 430 Spider, again really nice, typically red Ferrari. Yeah, that's been buzzing along with us all day. Then we've got a pair of R8s over here, so we've got old and new, and it's been quite interesting following both of them because to me the R8, when it came out, it was so futuristic, and the original one, this one over here, but it hasn't aged at all, and I wasn't overwhelmed by the new one when that came out, but actually it's grown on me a lot. But watching them both together, neither one looks older than the other, so yeah, I really don't know. I actually prefer the rear end of the older car, probably prefer the front end of the new car, but both really nice. So the older one is the V8, it's a manual I believe, let me just double check. Yes, manual, lovely. And obviously the new one only comes in Auto or DSG or whatever they call it. Then we've got a really nice Scuderia, which is parked over here. Now that thing's been making some amazing noises. Obviously I've let the cars fly by me, and I think the Scuderia has to be the best sounding one out of the lot. Maybe the R8 V10 Plus. Then we've got an Alpha GTA. I'm not sure of the age of that, but obviously it's quite old. But really tricked out. It's got a roll cage and it flies. It's got about 200 horsepower and it probably weighs about a ton, I'm guessing, maybe a bit less. But it's beautiful. Look at it. Yeah, it's not your standard sort of GTA. It's really, really pristine condition and quite pimped up. Proper tyres, proper brakes, proper seats, roll cage. Yeah, that thing's going to be a bit of a weapon. But it does look so small next to all the other cars whilst on the move, you know, all the modern cars. Then we've got this amazing, and I love this because it's so closely related to the Cayman GT4. We've got the Boxster Spider, almost forgot what it was called then, which is just amazing. You know, it sounds like a GT4. It pretty much handles and goes like a GT4. The only thing it hasn't got that the GT4 has got is the sort of GT3 front end, the suspension and stuff. But it's got the GTS set up on the front end, and from what I've read, they handle pretty much just as well as the GT4. Just cool. Look at these detailings. Look at all this through here. It's just lovely. Really like that car. Gonna be jealous of that once we get into the twisties. And then, as I say, what have we got up here? So we've got someone else in their C63's turned up. He wasn't with us today, so he's just met us here. And then there's the other tour car, the identical M235. So yeah, it's been a really good day. It's so warm. It's like 35 degrees and it's what, 6 PM. Just really muggy. It's fine in the car obviously, but the minute you stop and get out you just feel super muggy, so I can't wait to have a shower. But as I say, my M135's just been perfect today, and I'm sure it's going to do me proud once we get into the twisties as well. Really is an awesome little car. Cool guys, right, I'm gonna wrap it there, go inside, have a shower, go and have a beer, and then get ready for dinner. Hopefully edit this video quick, because it should be quick, but let's see. You know what I'm like. Cool, thanks for everything, and make sure you check out the Petrolheads tour link below. Take it easy guys, I will speak to you soon. Cheers.